Well, welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Well, it turned out there was a vote of confidence in him, but not as big a vote as he would have liked. Well, I'm joined now by former Conservative MPs Ann Widdecombe and Anna Soubry, who join me now. Welcome to you both. Ann Widdecombe, your response to this result?
Well, I now hope very much that the rebels will accept that they've lost and not do what otherwise they might do, which is to continually rebel on votes in the Commons, make his life difficult. He's got a year. He's got a year's grace. And that will bring us almost to the gates of a general election. And it's crucial now that the party puts this behind it and pulls itself together. If you ask me, Piers, will they do that? Frankly, I wouldn't bet on it.
No, I mean, you've got to say, though, if 42% of Conservative MPs have no confidence in a Conservative Prime Minister, why on earth would anyone want him to stay to fight an election? I mean, he's going to get completely shellacked, isn't he? The Labour Party will be running that result every 2 minutes.
Well, everything, as I've said, just depends now what the reaction, not of Boris's, but of the party is. Keir Starmer doesn't have to oppose at the moment. He can just sit there and watch us lose, because that is what is happening. As I say, it is down to the party. They've lost. Yes, there was a large vote, a much larger vote than is comfortable for having no confidence, but they have lost, and the party's got a straight choice. If it wants to win the next election, then it's got to go cohesively over the next 2 years. And if it doesn't, it will lose. And it's no good then blaming Boris. You can blame the rebels.
Anna Soubry, I mean, when Theresa May went through all this several years ago, she actually won a much bigger percentage of the vote, 2/3, I think it was, and she was still gone within a few months. Boris Johnson has not even scaled the dizzy heights of Theresa May's numbers. What does that mean for him?
Oh, this is a big blow. Big blow. And remember, credit to Boris Johnson, because he was the leader in 2019 when he got that huge majority, biggest majority since the days of Margaret Thatcher. And yet in a really short period of time, because of course we've had 2 years of the pandemic, so it's not been normal times, he now finds himself in this position. And I think he's toast. There's no way back for him.
But when you say that,
and Anne's
Anna,
right,
when you say that, just to clarify, how does he become toast?
Because if you have any time for Johnson at the moment, you will have voted in favour of him, and there will have been Conservative MPs who would have given him, if you like, the benefit of the doubt. But to have such a huge number, especially on your backbenchers, because there's this thing called the payroll, that's people who've got government jobs, who you would expect to be loyal to the Prime Minister because they're members of his government. It's those backbenchers, and, they go right across the party, the different wings of the party. And so slowly, more and more people, it's natural. They want to be on the winning side, and they will see the winning side as not being Boris Johnson. And remember, we haven't even had the 2 by-elections that are due on June the 23rd, both of which are going to be really bad news for Boris Johnson.
So he's now contaminated by the stench of impending political death, and everyone will be keen to avoid it. But Ann Widdecombe, if it's not Boris Johnson, as people keep asking, then who should it be? Who do you think would make a good leader of the Conservative Party and therefore, right now, a good Prime Minister?
Well, I think one of the reasons that he has retained the confidence of the party, or of the majority of the party, is that there obviously is no successor, but no obvious successor, nobody waiting in the wings as he was when Theresa was under pressure. But as I say, there are 2 ways to lose the election. One is to actually just fall apart, which is what is going to happen if they go down the Anna Soubry course and just make his life difficult. If they fall apart, they will lose the election. The other way to lose it is quite simply to have the wrong leader at the wrong time. And as far as the party is concerned now, it's got to decide that it's got to make Boris the right leader. They're only there because he was the right leader. He still can be, but he's got to get a grip, Piers. He's got to get a grip. not only on the party, on Downing Street, on his operation, on just the shambolic nature of his approach to
The trouble is, you know,
None
I
of
interviewed
what's
him.
happened was necessary.
Here's the trouble, and I'll come to Anna on this. I mean, I interviewed him for GQ years ago, and I said to him, you know, Boris, he wasn't even London Mayor then. And I said, look, I always tell people who think you're just a buffoon that beneath the buffoon exterior lies a brilliant, calculating, ambitious political mind. And he looked at me and he said, well, Piers, you really must consider the possibility that lurking beneath the buffoon exterior is a complete buffoon. And the trouble is, I think, for Boris Johnson, is the buffoon act. I think a lot of people are sick of it because they're suffering financial hardship. They see the hypocrisy over the party gate, and they're just like, you know what? I'm just done with having a buffoon, a guy who lies, you know, every day of his life. No one can trust him, and you can kind of skate through a political career like that when times are good. But when times are hard, like they are now, I just think it's unsustainable.